Hi everyone, November 21st, 2020. Haven't done a video for quite a long time, and I think the last bit of footage I shot, which is still sitting on my computer at the time I'm filming this, I think it was about the deck. Can't be 100% sure, but I managed to get one coat on it, and then it rained the next day. So again, it came to a big screaming halt, and then something sort of crossed my path, which was too good to be true, and I jumped on that. So now I have another project underway. I always wanted to build a trailer out of a utility tub, the tubs that people take off the back of a utility or a pickup truck to put a tray on there. So I picked up a couple of those. I've actually picked up 3 of them. I picked up a late model one and then 2 earlier model ones of a Ford Ranger. Now I actually came across a trailer that had been built out of 2 Ford Ranger tubs put back to back, but I wanted to go to the next step. I actually wanted to build a camper trailer out of 2 Ford Ranger tubs. So I've been doing the run around Melbourne for the last 3 weeks, collecting canopies and tubs and wheels and trailers and everything else I'm going to need for this project. And I've basically got everything except for the brake setup. So I need a lazy axle hub, or a set of hubs, and I need also a set of hubs with electronic brakes in it. And then I've got everything. So I'll give you a look at what we got here. So we've got 2 early model Ford Ranger tubs. I think these date from about 2008 to about 2011 or 2013, something like that. Picked them up for $50 a piece. Had the the plastic bed liners in them. This black one actually came with the sports bar, so the roll bar as well, which I sold the other day for $50. So that paid for the tub, so that tub owes me nothing. This one owes me $50. Picked up this really long canopy here. I paid $175 for it, but it's well worth it. It's a late model plexiglass canopy, and the way you can tell is there's 2 ways you can tell. One is actually this logo. Originally, plexiglass never used to have the New Zealand islands on the badge. So if it's got New Zealand on it, it's a fairly late one. And the other one was they changed to these style of handles. So they went from this type, to the type we just saw. So this is an older canopy, but I'm going to swap these out. I actually sell these handles at work, so I'm going to grab a pair of them. I might actually grab 2 pairs, because the only downside about this canopy was the fact it didn't come with any keys. But there is a key code on the lock. So I might contact Plexiglass and see if they can provide keys for this. And if they can, I'll just get a set of keys, which will save me a shitload of money. And Bob's your uncle. Now, whilst we're on the badge, there's no good talking about it and then not actually showing you what I'm talking about. So somewhere down here in my spare parts thing, I do have one of the old badges, but I don't know where it is. So rather than pull everything out, we'll just go to this canopy. This is another canopy I bought. As you can see there, there's no New Zealand on there, so This is an older style canopy. I bought this one for $80. It's got all the windows. I've taken the windows out because I was going to replace all the window channeling and then completely reseal the windows. There was some damage to the actual to the back window hinge, but not on the canopy itself. Actually, on the frame for the glass. The rain's just starting to come down now, so there's the back window. As you can see here, this is where the hinge point for the gas struts mounted, and that was really badly torn out. So what I was going to do is just put a new section in there and then put all this back together and sell it. See if I can make a little bit of a profit on it. Okay, that'd be right. I got it open, but I can't get it closed. There we go. So the reason I ended up buying this one first and then getting this one, because I got the blue one first, I got this long one second, and then I got this one third. When this was on the tubs, I knew this was longer. I got this for $175, which is a really, really good price for what it is. I couldn't knock it back. It's a late model one. It has never had any racks put on the top, so there's no holes in it. I don't have to do anything with it. Maybe just give it a lick of paint once everything's together, and that's it. Doesn't need window seals, it doesn't need anything. The window seals are still really soft, like they were put in yesterday, so it doesn't leak. But I also like the idea that when these two tubs are actually joined together, this canopy spans across the join. So it's gonna, when it's bolted in here, it'll bolt in here, and it's gonna help tie the tubs together, which is good. This canopy here is actually a very short one. It's shorter than this one, and what I have to do with these, because they're going back to back, these windows, these front bulkheads have both got to be cut out, and then here I can just trim these up until they meet and then push them together. And when I push them together, I'll fiberglass them from the inside, and pushing them together will actually bring this right up to here. I've done the measurements and it will work. Where this one was a little bit too long, and what I was going to have to do was I was going to have to cut it through here, and then I think cut it through here as well, and take that whole section out, and then basically butt the whole lot back together. But then it means I would have had to have altered the window frames and then got the glass cut down, so this canopy actually was going to end up being more expensive than what cost me more money than what I actually paid for it. So I've now put this one on the back burner and push that aside, and it will get finished, and I'll put that back on Facebook Marketplace and see if I can pick up some dollars for it. It'll look pretty when it's done, so hopefully I should maybe double my money on it. What else? I picked up these Holden Colorado rims and tires, a set of 4 for $120, and the guy even delivered them. Like, he drove 35 kilometers to deliver them because he was hard up for cash, so he wanted to get rid of them and get the cash, so he brought them over to me. They've got hand-cooked tires on it. There's enough tread on them for a trailer. They're the same stud pattern as a Toyota Land Cruiser. And in the world of trailers, the actual 6-bolt stud pattern hubs that they do are to suit a Toyota Land Cruiser. So I'm laughing. These rims will stay, but the insignia in the middle will go because I'm not a Holden fan. So they'll go, and Ford logos will get put over the tops of those. What else can I tell you? Okay, yep, both tubs came with all the flares. All the tailgates work. I picked up a set of springs, dual rocker springs. So let's get this open, because I don't know what the light's going to be like with us sticking this camera inside the tub. But I got a set of dual rocker springs. Turns out that the assembly wasn't going to work, simply because the spacing between the wheel centers is greater due to this these two tubs meeting here. It's greater than what these would be if you were to mount them in their current configuration. Now, the guy that sold them actually owns a trailer place not too far from here, and what happened is he bought a whole heap of these, like a container load of them for his trailer business, and then got locked down for 9 months due to COVID and needed to offload some stock pretty quick to try and revamp some money. And he's put these on Facebook Marketplace for $180 a pair. There's another trailer place up in Epping who does all trailer parts and four-wheel drive parts. And I've actually been onto their website, and I've actually called them once for some advice. They want $360 for those exact same springs, and I got them for $180. So I spoke to the guy about what I was doing, and I told him what my wheel centers were, and he said, these rockers, well, that's a better, you can't quite see it under that jockey wheel there. He said, these aren't going to work for you, Corey. He said, so what you need, he said, you can still use the springs, and you got the shackle up here. He said, what I'll do is, he said, come down to my factory, and I'll sell you some hangers for $6 a piece. So he did. At the other place, they're $24 each. So I paid $24 for 4, where I would have only got 1 for $24 at the other place. So this guy's looked after me. Any other advice I need, he is willing to give it free of charge. Anything he can help me out with in the way of parts, he's also willing to help me out. Not that he sells to the public, but seeing I bought the springs off him, he's willing to help me out. Also picked up this jockey wheel. It's a 10-inch pneumatic tyre. It's a swivel. Probably made in China. Yes, it is made in China, but that doesn't matter. $45, brand new. I had a little bit of a drive to go get it, but I had to get this, I had to pick this smaller canopy up the same morning. So I was already out with the trailer. So I picked that up. That's an absolute bargain, because those things normally sell for, at the cheapest I've seen them is about $130, I think. So yeah, I picked this up for $45. So I'm really happy. As you can see, tub liners. I've got tub liners in both them, but these bulkheads up the front, they will come out when the two tubs are tied together, as will the front panel of the canopies. So it'll just be one big long open area in here. There will be a partition put in here somewhere, because this end, well, I'm not sure yet which end is going to be the front and which end's going to be the back, but there's going to be a kitchen. So I've already bought a small bar fridge for here, but I also have a proper car fridge that you can power on 240 or 12 volt. So I've actually got 2 fridges, and I'm gonna put a cooktop in here, but it's actually going to come out on slides, on God, I used to sell them. What's the correct name for them? Bearing slides for drawers. So you won't actually be leaning over the tailgate like this to cook. The whole thing will just slide out to the edge of the tailgate here, and then it will push back in. So whilst we're on the topic of kitchens, I'll show you this small bar fridge I bought. It's going to get dark in here, guys. Just let me put the light on. So I'll move some stuff too, so you can sort of see it. Okay, I bought this little 47 litre Hisense fridge. It's still actually under warranty, believe it or not. It's clean as a whistle. It was never used, or hardly used. There's not even any smell in there of there having been anything in there. It's got a little freezer compartment up there, and it's got a little drip tray here, and it's ideal for the camper. It's not very deep. It weighs nothing. I picked that up for $80. I can't argue, with the price of that. That's so good, and it's Hisense as well, so it's not cheap. 3-year warranty, so I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, we're going to go back into the dark. So I got that for it, which is fantastic. Now, other things that I've got for it is I've got all the lighting. So we're going to power this up with 240 volt and 12 volt and solar. So my best mate Paul is going to help me with all the wiring on this, everything from the 12 volt to the solar to the 240 volt. We'll put power points in here. I've got lots of LED strip lighting that I got from my former workplace. I've actually changed jobs in the last 6 weeks. I am now working for a caravan parts supplier to the industry. We supply to we have a 90% sort of stake in the supply chain to the industry, doing doors and windows and awnings, and any other thing you can think of for the manufacture of caravans. So I'm working for them now, which is going to work out really good for this little camper project. But to be honest, there's not much I need. I've got most of what I need, but I've got lots of LED strip lighting, and that's going to look absolutely magnificent inside here. It's all, I'll put it all around. I'll make this thing look really really super cool, so pretty happy about that. Okay, another thing that I bought was I bought this tub. This was the very first tub that I bought. This is actually off a 2017 Ford Ranger. Now, they changed in size. These things became a lot taller and a lot deeper inside, so it wouldn't actually match up. It wouldn't actually match up with the black one that I bought. But I didn't know that at the time, so I now have a spare tub. So what am I going to do with it? Okay, now you've probably seen a lot of sofas, couches made out of the back ends of car bodies. They use the boot, they take the boot lid off and they use the boot area as the seating area. Well, I'm going to do the exact same with this Ford Ranger. I've got a nice bulkhead here, just in line with where the wheel arch starts. So I'm basically going to slice the tub right through, keep this bulkhead here, slice it right through. I'll end up with some mounting points on this cross member for some legs, and I've got more mounting points up here for the legs at the front. I've got a set of tail lights for it as well. I've got the rear bumper bar for it, and what else have I got for it? Geez, I had it and I just lost it. What was it? What have I got? Ah, yes, the actual seat itself. Scored the other day. Was going through eBay Market. Sorry, not eBay Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, and I came across a listing for a 2017 Mazda CX-3 interior. So 2 bucket seats, which are heated bucket seats. The back seat, 4 door trims, and miscellaneous trim pieces. $50. $50. So naturally I went and bought them, didn't I? So I don't need the door trims. So what I've done is, there was these metal speaker grills in the doors. Now I haven't quite worked out how to get the metal mesh out yet. So basically I just hacked into the door trim and discarded the door trims, and I've kept these. And the reason I wanted to keep these is I cannot find a supplier that actually does this speaker grill material, and I'm thinking that there might be somewhere in the future, when the Studebaker interior gets done and the stereo goes in, that I may need some of this speaker grill material. So I've kept the grills from the 4 doors. Now I can't lift this up for you, but this is actually the back seat out of the CX-3. It's in mint condition. It's a 2-tone, so it's a dark grey on black, and it's going to work beautiful. And the thing is, with these sofas, couches that they make out of the back ends of car bodies, usually the seats are fixed, so the seat is fairly wide. But because I'm using a ute tub, this base will get attached to the tailgate, and then it will actually fold up when not in use. So I've actually reduced the width of the seating area, or the whole seat, by half, and I'm going to put a press studded snap-on tonneau cover over the top, because this will be a seat that I use outside, and basically it'll be waterproof. It's a great little idea. It's cost me well, I have to split the cost on this because I got the bucket seats as well. So say $25 for this seat here, and $50 for the tub. So it's cost me $75 to build this ornamental sofa couch, and I don't even have to respray the tub because the paint's in perfect condition. So that's great. The bucket seats, what a score! Heated bucket seats, also in the 2-tone black. They look absolutely magnificent. And the beautiful thing about these seats, compared to my Ford Festiva seats there that I modified many Studebaker videos back, is that I had to modify the tracks. I don't know if you can see it because it's dark, but I had to actually modify the tracks and weld brackets on and root around with it. And then I had to put down here, I had to put these tubes and then cut the tubes out to allow the mechanisms to slide. But with these Mazda CX-3 seats, they're a completely flat track. Completely flat track. Don't have to step them or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out, and I'm actually going to mount the seats directly to the floor. There's no step in the rail at all. It's absolutely perfect. I couldn't have hoped for better. But they're a beautiful looking seat. They probably need a little bit of a clean. but there's no tears in them. They've got removable headrests, so when this thing actually gets registered, I will remove the headrests so that the seats finish here, and they won't actually stick out over the back window, which the Ford Festiva seats do. As you can see there, you can see the headrest here. But when I actually mount these things flat on the floor, the top of the seat itself will be below the window line. So it'll have a nice clean look at the back. And yeah, very good score. Absolutely rapt that I picked up all that. One last thing is a trailer. I bought a boat trailer. This trailer looks like it might have been for a flat bottom type boat, maybe a flat bottom tinny or something like that, because it's not, the cross members aren't V'd out on it. They're not sort of configured to a V bottom hull, so it could have been like a flat bottom swamp boat or something like that. So I've started to have a bit of a chop at this thing. I have to shorten it up and narrow the width. So yesterday I got stuck into it, and it's coming together quite good. By the time I'm finished, I'll actually have shortened it 1.6 meters in length. So this is the trailer. It's extremely wide at the moment, but all this outrigger here will all be gone because the springs will actually be under this frame, and these cross members have to get shortened by 220 mil. So I've got to narrow it so it won't be as wide as what it looks now. I've lopped the cross member off the back, so I've got my desired length now. Up the front here, what I wanted to do was these gussets here. This is a really heavy duty trailer. This has been so well done. I wanted to keep the strength here in the corners, so what I've opted to do to narrow it is, where you see the green tape on that side, I'm going to take the 220 off the cross brace on that side, then I'm going to jump across to this one and take 220 off here, so I'm staggering the cuts and the re-weld points, and then here I've got to take 220 out of the middle so that I don't interfere with these. So I'll re-weld that and then I'll plate it. By bringing the trailer in, the width of the trailer in by 220 mil, what that does is, once I cut through here, it brings these two pieces together. They'll actually touch, and then all I have to do is just weld a triangular plate across these two frame rails, which will basically look like this, but just further back, and these will actually be touching. And the tow hitch shouldn't come out any further than where my hand is, so to the left of my hand. So basically everything to the right of my hand can go as well, but I needed to leave something on it for now so I can sort of pull it around. So that's shortened everything up by 1.6 meters, and everything's going to get narrowed from the frame rails, not from the outriggers, but from the frame rails, by 220 millimeters. You might say, why didn't I just build one from scratch? It would have been easier. Not really, because it's so easy to run an angle grinder through these outriggers and get rid of them. There's no, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or an engineer to chop them off with a angle grinder. And with having to section it, I've only got 3 points that I have to weld. if I build a trailer from scratch, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then when the cross member goes back in between the frame rails, 8, 9 points to weld. 9 points to weld if I build the trailer from scratch. This way I've only got a maximum of 4. I don't consider this part of the modification because this will just naturally come together, and I still have to put a plate on there to mount the hitch anyway. So it's a solid trailer. It's really solid. It's thick. The blade had trouble getting through it at the start. As you can see, there's only a little bit of scaly rust in there. This thing's solid as a rock. So I think I've done alright. I paid $450 for this. It looked a lot more until I got to it yesterday with the grinder. You know, there was fenders on there. As you can see, I'm using one to support the A-frame at the moment. There were boards on it. There were rollers down the centre for the boat. Lights, all that gear. So I've stripped all the shit off it that I don't need, and I've left the bare shell here for the moment. I couldn't really do anything today because yesterday I set myself on fire and I've pretty badly burnt my finger. I've been to the doctors today. He says the reason I'm not feeling any pain in it today is because I cooked the nerves. So we're just keeping an eye on that over the next couple of days. And he's basically said if it starts to get infected, he'll lance it and drain it, and that's it. Keep it clean. That black you see on there is actually material that melted to my hand. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but we keep moving forward. So yeah, you know, before the accident, I'd started to take off all the mounts for the rollers. You can see there, I've taken 2 off there. I got 2 off this one, and then at about this point, this is where I burnt myself. So I've still got this one, these 2, and that's about it, guys. I don't need to cut any more off because all these outriggers, when I drop the axle and everything, all these outriggers will just get sliced off. But as for brackets that will remain in the framed or the chassis area, I only have those 3 to do. So I'm pretty happy with that. I know it might not look like much, and $450 might seem a lot for what it is, but you know, it was a complete boat trailer. So I'm only keeping what I need. The good thing is this thing's got a nice 3-inch drop axle on it, and the springs are in really good condition too, so I could probably even advertise this axle setup. And 3-inch drop axle, people are going to want this for sure. Not being a straight axle, they can build a trailer lower. All the hubs, you could probably get maybe $100 for that, so that brings the trailer down to $350. And then whatever scrap steel that I cut off it, I'm going to take that to the scrap metal yard, get a few bucks for that too. So I got quite a bit of scrap now lying around the place, just odds and ends. So yeah, got these old chairs here. Take them down and get rid of those. It's one way to get rid of them. Take them to the scrap metal yard and get cash from. I'm going to have the tub. So from this cross member down, all that's going to the tip, or going to the scrap metal yard. So there's a little bit there. This is the front that I chopped off the trailer yesterday. As you can see, weird looking jockey wheel, but it's seized. That weighs a ton. That is heavy. That's the cross member I took off the back. So I took the 225 off here to here, chop that off. So got myself a spare set of trailer lights if I ever need them. But yeah, that's the timber that came off it. There's all the bracketry. There's the other fender. So I got a bit of scrap to take down there and get rid of, and make some more money back, which will then still reduce the price of what this thing's going to cost. If it looks like it's sitting a bit lopsided at the moment, it is. It's actually sitting on a steel frame. The black tub is sitting on a steel frame, which was a frame for an old water tank. And on this side, this is just an old set of cupboards that I had, but I didn't have any extra bits of timber to put under there to get the back end up level, so that's why it sort of looks like a bent banana at the moment. But I can assure you these things bolt together perfectly, and yeah, we should have a in the next, I'm guessing next 6 weeks, we should have these mounted to the trailer chassis, and we'll be looking at setting up all the axles and springs and everything else, and getting this thing close to getting on the road. I'm going to repaint the whole lot, or repaint the tubs. This silver here is lightning strike, which is the same color as my Ford Territory. So I'm actually going to I'll get some new decals. I'm going to respray these 2 tubs in lightning strike so they match the Territory, and I'll put all the bumpers back on and all the lights and everything like that, and it'll look quite nice. This canopy, all the glass was completely covered in stickers, so over the last couple of hours I've just been removing stickers and wiping it down with methylated spirits to try and get all the residue off it. But the back window's cleaned up pretty well. I've just left 2 stickers on there for now, but yeah, it's all cleaned up pretty well. There's no bad body damage on either tub. There's a little bit down here. This got, I don't know what happened here. I think in a desperate attempt to get this tub off the truck it was on, someone's reefed on the bumper, the corner piece, and pushed all the quarter panel in here. But the great thing is, it's actually covered up by the bumper, so although it's a little bit dinted here, I can knock that out and you'll never see it once the bumper's back on, so quite lucky. There was a couple of dints up here, but I got my dint puller and pulled them out. They're a lot cleaner now. There's still 1 or 2 that I'm not completely happy with, but it is a camping trailer, and I'm sure it's going to end up with a lot more dints in it over its lifetime. The black tub's in excellent condition. This side of the silver tub is in excellent condition. All the flares are good. There's no cracks. We've got the fuel filler doors, which is going to come in really handy because I'm going to put a freshwater tank in here, and I can actually use this door as a filler. And then on the other side, I'm not sure what I'll use this for, but I have another one. This one still has the locking mechanism in it, so I can't actually open it for you at the moment, but that's also an access point for maybe another tank or whatever. If I install like a permanent LPG tank, I can even fill it up with LPG for a cooktop. I don't know what I'm going to use yet in the way of a cooktop, whether it's going to be gas or electric. So yeah, but it could even be a hidden access point for an outside, for the outside power point. So when you're in a caravan park and you're plugging into power, you just pop this open and you plug your lead straight in there. So you know, I've got a few ideas up my sleeve already, and yeah, it's just a matter of now getting it all together. So Everything's here. Everything's here. It's just got to be all put together now. Tailgates are good. There's no dents in the tailgates whatsoever, so that's great. Less dents, the better. Less body work I've got to do. There's some scuffing on the flares, but they're only plastic anyway, so I'll rub them back and get rid of those, and then just put some high fill on there to clean them up a little bit. They do get scratched when you're pushing them around concrete pathways. Not that I did the scratching, previous owners did the scratching. I've just tried to fix them. So yeah, so everything will get new seals put on the bottom of it to completely seal these canopies up to the tubs. Whether I keep the tub liners or not is another thing, because what they are currently doing, and we'll just pop this tailgate open again. By keeping the tub liner in there, yes, it keeps everything sort of clean, but the tub underneath is in excellent condition too, you know, because it's always had a tub liner on it, so it's like brand new under there. But these things are fairly thick. Now I have to screw a bed frame down on top of these wheel arches. So if the tub liner is so thick, and then I've got say a 20mm frame to go on top of it, and then you got the mattress, it starts to push you a bit close to the roof, you know. So I'm actually thinking about taking these tub liners out, because the tubs are finished inside anyway. Now even on this later model one, we'll see if we can get the camera in. I'll give you a look. You know, they're nice. There's nothing that's ugly about them. This one never had a tub liner in it, hence the scratches, but they are very clean inside. And by getting rid of that plastic, it allows me to lower the bed frame down slightly, and gives me that little bit more headroom. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Also for sealing too. Now I don't think it would make a heap of difference if you seal the canopy to the tub liner correctly. You shouldn't get any water going inside, but I think I'd rather seal the canopy to the metal part of the tub, the top part of the tub. I think I'll get a bit of seal. You can sort of see there how thick these things are. So you're probably looking at about 8mm, I'm guessing, in thickness. So if I can eliminate 8mm, 8mm's 8mm. It means rather than have to use, say, 25mm tube, I can use 20mm tube. And so I gain 5mm there. Even 15, provided there's supports underneath. 15mm tube welded up properly will hold my weight. So every mil I can gain, the better. So guys, I'm going to leave it here because this has been a 43-minute video, but we've had a lot to cover, which hasn't been covered over the last couple of weeks since I've been collecting all this stuff. So you know, bear with me. Go grab a cup of coffee or a beer or something before you watch this, and which I should have actually put that at the start of the video, but yeah, bear with me on this one. I don't shoot videos that often, so you know, I've jammed it all into one vid. Okay, I'll film a little bit more when we get a little bit further along. Cheers guys.